Welcome back, everybody. This is the second edition of the Strokecast. I'm joined again by my friend Jeremy, or pridianomics here.
Pridianology.
Yeah, pridianology. You got several different aliases.
Pridianopolis.
Pridianopolis. Pridianopoly.
Yeah.
Pridianopoly.
I put a lot of thought into that. I wanted
Mm.
to make sure I can milk and capitalize off of the name as much as possible. When I blow up, I'm not only going to act like I don't know nobody, I'm also going to capitalize off my brand as much as possible. And I'm going to release several lines of lucrative merchandise, all cheaply made in foreign countries. China
As
top
it
of the
should
list.
be. As it
China,
should be.
well, maybe not China, maybe Mexico,
Vietnam's
Vietnam.
pretty good.
Vietnam
Vietnam
is a
has pretty
little.
good quality shit.
I agree. They do.
And doesn't South Korea do mass manufacturing shit like that too?
Yeah, they do have a lot of sweatshops or sweatshop
That's
like conditions for their good working people to work in and make all of our labubus and you
fucking
know
peak.
you know
Fucking peak.
yeah,
But yeah.
labubus and Timu merchandise of various varieties.
I don't know how far Stroke's gonna go. But it's pretty simple and to the point.
It's good.
So
It's
yeah, it
good. We can do a
is.
lot with
It
that.
is. Yeah, we can. Strokeonomics.
We should
Strokeopoly.
we should
I guess it has more range than I think.
yeah, definitely. Definitely. Strokeosity. Stroke Nation.
Stroke
It,
Nation.
if we get more than 5 people to listen to this and give a shit in any capacity, our fan base will be called Stroke Nation.
This is true. We discussed this because even though we're gonna continue, we're gonna always do this once a week or once every other week. The only reason we didn't do one last week because Thanksgiving and shit. I was out of town. We both had shit to do. Holidays, all that stuff. So expect the same thing around Christmas. But yeah, we're still gonna do the Strokecast every week. But for the whole channel, we're gonna do a rename here in the somewhat immediate future. So
Rebrand.
yes, slight rebrand because we're not. It's just not gonna be. It's not just gonna be like the podcast on here. We're gonna be doing all sorts of other content starting early next year, and it's going to be a shit ton of it. It's going to be a constant flow of fucking early 2010s coded YouTube slop. So
So
I can't
stay
wait.
tuned.
Mm-hmm. And anyways,
We're gonna do
so that's
mukbangs,
yes, food reviews,
unboxing videos,
unboxing videos, fucking um
vlogs,
um
diss tracks.
pitting groups of homeless people against each other with a shit ton of super hot honey buns. We're not gonna throw honey buns at homeless people, but we're gonna give them both really hot, heated up cinnamon rolls and honey buns and shit, and like pit them against wars with each other and shit.
Yeah,
And
because throwing hot honey buns at them would be a crime, and that's illegal, and that's also morally wrong.
yeah,
However,
it's something I don't feel comfortable doing.
you know, but instead, what we're gonna do is entice them with monetary incentives, and we are going to make them sign a waiver so that we're not responsible for any injuries if they happen to fall or deal with any hot honey buns that just so happen to be in the vicinity. That's not on us.
Yeah, I want to give them an opportunity. That's the kind of person I am.
We're giving back to our community. That's what it is.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, find us in a South Dallas suburb near you. Mm. Anyways,
Deep Ellum specifically.
no, not Deep Ellum. Deep Ellum ain't that like bad. Like fucking like Elm Street and like
Mhm.
Commerce Street aren't bad. It's everything like around it that like you don't want to be in past a certain time of night.
Gotcha.
No, yeah, no, that area does not sleep. I'm a Deep Ellum enjoyer, personally.
You did take me
So
there.
yes, we went to we went to Shot Topic. It was a good time. Yeah, you were really you were extremely shroomed out and met my boy Sean that I at that point I hadn't talked to in probably a little bit over a year and a half maybe.
Yes.
He was he
For
was kind of like in the Sense Masada days, he was kind of like outside of the band, like outside of, like Hunter and like Graham. Um
Mhm.
like I think I know I've talked about this before. We never really hung out with like, Jay or Sebi that much.
Right.
But yeah, but outside of the band, Sean was my party buddy. We
Hell yeah.
were we were the ones going to bars and like clubs and shit together. Like he would like pull up over here and like we would bullshit around. Whenever did I tell you the in the song In Your Eyes,
Mhm.
the like the gang vocals in the background before the breakdown?
Mhm.
We recorded that in like the room I'm sitting in, right?
Mhm.
And we actually had Sean hold up the lyrics on like a whiteboard for us
You
as we
did.
recorded it with the SM7B in the center of the room.
You did tell me that.
Yeah,
That's
that was a time. And then after that, me and him went to Shot Topic, and yeah, we hung out in Elm Street for about we hung out in Deep Elm for about like 5 hours, just nonstop party. Um,
yeah. For the federal agents and potential future employers out there listening,
oh shit.
I had too many stuffed mushrooms at an Italian establishment that we were eating at, that we were having a
Yeah,
nice wholesome dinner at, and then we decided to see the great city of Dallas together. So
this is true. He was bloated. That's what I meant to say. He was bloated.
I was bloat maxing.
Yes, he was.
But
He
as
he 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 was a bloated hog.
which is why I suggested we do mukbangs so I can continue to
Yes.
bloat max.
Yes.
I'm not only gonna blow up figuratively, but also literally.
Mm,
I want to
Yeah.
become one of those
Yeah.
Wally people.
Uh, yeah. Don't in the year 2035 when we're both like internet superstars and shit and have millions of dollars, don't look up Pridianomics inflation. Don't do it.
Uh,
oh,
or
oh
do.
shit.
I,
Or do
I
if that's your thing. If that's your thing.
I've already accepted that going down this path will lead to the possibility of pornographic material uh being
Bunch of
made
degenerative behavior.
in our image, essentially.
Yeah.
You know,
We're gonna have so many gay deepfakes of ourselves, dude.
yeah, I was about to say, Shane, there's gonna be an AI video of you
Uh,
inflating like a balloon and floating around like fucking like Aunt Marge from that Harry Potter movie, fucking
Holy shit.
Prisoner of Azkaban. Yeah, that's gonna happen to you, Shane. That's in your
I
future.
have a speaking of speaking of Harry Potter, Haley gave me this Hermione like snow globe thing. It's sitting
Interesting.
right here. It's staring at me.
Why did she
Um
give you a thing to stare at you, Shane? Why'd she do that?
it's a Funko Pop and a snow globe. I think they're
Oh,
cool. Yeah, I
oh,
don't yeah.
I thought it was just a Harry Potter snow
No.
globe. I
No,
don't know.
no, no, no. Mm-mm. No, nothing. No, nothing like that. Um,
I see.
no, so on the subject of that, that's what I have staring at me as I record this episode.
Mhm.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's uh, moving on to other shit. What did you what's been happening the last since last time that you would like to bring to the table here? What
Well,
discussions would you like to open up?
I've got a few. No longer unemployed. That's a good thing.
Thank God. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm not gonna say what I do or anything like
No.
that, but it's gonna
No.
be pretty nice to move back to Florida. It's cold as balls up here in Philadelphia, and I'm turning a setback around to a win. Positive reinforcement. Not
A
po-
door was
Yeah, go on.
a door was forcibly shut on you and another one flung wide open.
Yeah, pretty much. So it was pretty cool how that all turned out. I was only unemployed for 16 days. I think that's pretty good. That
You speed ran unemployment.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
basically I went through all the stages of unemployment.
Oh, shit. The 5 stages of unemployment.
But there are stages to it, and you know what I mean. The audience,
Yeah, no.
they'll know what I mean too.
Nah, no. There is. There is.
So that was
Um
good. That was very good. I have to move back to Florida in a month, but well, within a month, less than a month actually. So that's gonna be annoying. Shouldn't take too long though. Just, hop, skip, and a jump across the country. But anyway, aside from that, in terms of what I wanted to talk about, what I really wanted to get into, have us
oh
sink our teeth into, maybe play around with it, maybe
yeah.
pin it down and have our way with it. It's not
Dry. Dry. No
it's
lube.
it's not a yeah, we want the experience to be painful for both us and the topic.
Oh shit.
And just to clear some things up, we are talking about an abstract concept we're doing this to. Nothing no real harm is being done to anything or anybody. We're good people.
Nothing literal. Nothing literal. Anyways,
Yes. So, it's I would say not an old topic because it happens it's kind of ongoing, I would say, but dying down, petering out. But I still think it's one that would be really good to talk about in retrospect, especially since it's still fresh in everyone's minds. But Shane, how familiar are you with the whole saga that YouTuber iDubbbz has been in? Because I know you and I have both been, we were both very big fans of him at one point or
yeah.
another.
Oh yeah. Yeah, early
And
the mid 2010s, the content cops between 2015 and 20 early 2018 maybe. Yeah, those are all good.
the
They're super entertaining. We were both in high school, early mid high school whenever people like iDubbbz and Filthy Frank especially and
yeah,
Leafy is here and stuff were at their peak. I remember getting home from school um and hopping onto a PlayStation Network party with a friend of mine and we would watch a Leafy video as soon as it fucking dropped. And it would have they would always have 1 million views within the
Mhm.
first 5 hours. It was a golden age.
He was
Um
popping off.
but I think after I kind of fell off the whole like being in the loop with a lot of YouTuber shit around. Ah, man, it had to have been around 2019, early 2020 is whenever I was kind of I don't give this is all stupid, this is all insufferable, I don't want to fucking hear
Right,
about it anymore.
right. You did the smart,
Yeah,
wise, healthy thing, which is
yeah,
to, focus that time on something actually productive. And
and it was very productive.
yes, I was about
And,
to say you actually were, you actually had shit to do. See, I kind of had always been somewhat in the loop. Now, I still keep up just because it's become a hyper fixation of mine. Internet lore, so to speak, just
Yeah.
shit going on. It's like popcorn. That's my slop. That's what I watch
Yeah.
when
Um,
I've
I'm
got
on
nothing
Twitter
going
all the
on.
yeah, I'm
Yeah,
on Twitter all the time, so I don't really have any choice. Sometimes everything I'm learning is like against my will.
that
Um,
happens with me
so
as well, especially and it really I really only care about the stuff like unless the drama is actually like interesting or morbid or fucked up in some way, then I'm like, ooh, morbid curiosity gets the best of me. If it's like some sort of allegation of sorts, I'm nosy and I want to know. But if it's like
yeah,
if it's like Minecraft YouTubers Soup Poopity, fucking Ding Dong, said the R slur in their most
I'm
recent
on. Yeah,
video, like
and
I
anytime
don't
I
fucking
hear
care.
shit, anytime I hear anything like involving controversy, like controversial, like related stuff, like this YouTuber said the fucking R word or the N word or something. Like, man, I don't give a fuck.
It's it's
Uh, th-
really
it's it's a
it's
non-issue to me at this point. I just don't give a fuck.
it's really hard to care when you have like a job or pay bills or
Yeah.
actually live in the real world. It's
Or if you enjoy your life. If you have
yeah.
any amount of enjoyment in your life, it's really
Yeah.
hard to actually give a fuck.
Yeah, if you're not fucking miserable and insufferable.
Yeah.
Anyway, uh yeah, yeah, I know we were both big fans of iDubbbz at one
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
You know, but it's safe to say that he's fallen off. He's off his
Oh,
game and
he's
and
been washed. He's been fucking washed, dude.
and it's been a decline. So much so that most of the people who are aware of him or still keep up with him now don't like him. His fan base has dwindled significantly.
Yeah.
His viewer base also dwindled. He's lucky if he gets 100,000 views per
Mhm.
video. When prior, a couple years ago, especially when we were fans of him, every
Shit, that
video
was
he
more
had,
than a couple. It's more than a couple.
yeah, yeah. Well, I would say I still kind of kept up or kind of cared about what he was doing. I want to say up until 2020. It was right around the time he started to shift his content, and he just which was kind of a separate thing that only would later kind of get absorbed into everything going on with him.
Yeah.
Uh, he just became really fucking boring, and
Yeah.
I couldn't give a fuck. Like he was doing a
Yeah.
whole series on trying to catch squirrels. I, iDubbbz, I could not give less of a fuck. Who gives a shit, really?
Yeah.
But anyway, he's been on a downward turn since 2020, I would say, and it's just a hole he's gotten himself into that he refuses to get out of. It's willful refusal to leave to get out of this fucking downward spiral he's in because he doesn't want to. I feel like it's an ego thing, a pride thing, perhaps. He doesn't want to concede or give in to detractors when, yeah, there are a lot of detractors who are just probably outright
Most
harassing
of
him.
his yeah, most of his detractors too. It isn't like they're not even talking about like genuine like shit that is like wrong. It's mostly detracted. Well, you don't say the M word anymore, and you don't make edgy content. And I'm like, well, I mean, that's not really even it for me personally.
And it
Uh,
never really was because,
yeah,
you know, we'll talk about the two things, I guess, separately. Try to separate
yeah,
them a bit.
yeah,
The
yeah,
change in content and what's going on with him, which they are related. There is a correlation, but correlation isn't causation. So
exactly.
they kind of just fused into one big problem that is his life. Anyway, he went from, doing content cop, say N-word, uh, so, you know,
What a time to be alive.
we know what he was doing before, and
Yeah.
now I guess he's tried very hard to rewrite history with all of this since then, and he does not look back on that fondly, which, yeah,
He
some
has
of
every right
his
not to. He has every right not to, because like
right.
whenever I watched his interview with the Anthony Padilla, and he was talking about um because he was talking about like I kind of tried to steer away from that because I would have like random people coming up to me in the street like just screaming the N-word in my face and stuff, and I was like, he was attracting an audience he didn't want, which I can understand that because it was an audience he didn't want because they kind of weren't getting the overall point of what his content was, like what he was trying to say.
Right.
And like especially that Tana Mojo video, like that Tana Mojo video wasn't like, even I knew this at the time, like, the point of that video wasn't to be like, oh, everybody should say the N word. No, it was, she's wishing these harmful fucking things on me. She's a complete fucking hypocrite though, because she's saying like, it was
Mhm.
pretty much a call to hypocrisy, and like more of a commentary on like the power
Oh, Shane, you just cut out really bad.
of him trying to say everybody should say the M word.
Yeah,
And I feel like
exactly.
a lot of people, a lot of like, people in my age, in our age demographic and younger, took it that way. It's like, well, he can say it and he has fucking 10 million subscribers, so anybody can fucking say.
But that was a small portion of his audience. I think
Oh, it was a blip. It was a blip for sure, but those people were
Mhm.
fucking loud.
Definitely. And either way, I don't think him moving away from that content is the main issue with him because
No,
again,
it's not. It's not even an issue. It's not even an issue.
his the him stopping his usage of that word or overtly offensive edgy language, use of slurs, retard, anything above that, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's so coincidentally coincided with the whole adpocalypse shit that went
Oh
on
yeah.
YouTube in 2017, and and he was still doing like bad unboxings and shit like that, and they were still funny. Like there's videos of him
Yeah.
from as late as 2018, no N-word or anything like that being mentioned, and it was still, it was still iDubbbz. That's not what made iDubbbz's
Yeah.
content, but he has seemed to have sorry, he has rewritten his own history where he's had this attitude of all of it was bad. I guess it's the same mindset he had back then, just applied differently. Either all of it's bad or none of it's bad.
Yeah.
So he's
He
now
made a
switched.
decision.
Yes, he made a decision that actually all of it's bad. Whatever. Uh, so, of course, that has coincided with his relationship with Anisa Jama. How much do you know about iDubbbz's wife?
Um, all I know is all of his fans were just trying to dogpile him because she does an OnlyFans account, and um, recently I did watch her like the Repsion video where he was talking about her, and like
Mhm.
I was like, oh, she's actually kind of a piece of shit, because like there's plenty of clips and like evidence out there of her like especially on like public forum, like in like interviews and stuff with him, like she
Mhm.
like will say shit to fucking humiliate him in front of
Yeah.
the people. He's like, yeah, like she was talking about how like he shits his pants or something in front of people, and he clearly was like, what the, like you could see it in his face and his demeanor.
The discomfort.
Yeah, and like but it's not even an isolated case. He always does that. So like that's all I know. She's kind of a piece of shit. She does OnlyFans. His fans tried to dogpile him for it, which I think he handled that. in the worst possible way imaginable as well. I don't even think he should have even said anything about it.
I agree.
I,
I think he would
I,
have saved himself a lot of trouble had he just let it run its course.
yeah,
Most people would probably
because
still like him if he just did that.
yeah, and like it's two massive sources of income he's bringing in between his YouTube channel and her doing that, and I think she's a streamer too, isn't she?
Yeah, and she started off
Yeah,
as a streamer, and
yeah. So
right
I
around the
mean,
time her streaming career was in full decline, I guess she has a lot of no, I'm not a psychiatrist by any means, but I would say she has a lot of narcissistic tendencies, and I think
she's a white woman, of course she does.
it's so funny you say that because one of the biggest things that uh, ties into this is her, I guess, Arab identity. She's part Lebanese. She has said herself, there are receipts of her saying that she is only 8% Lebanese. And
uh,
and it's from her father's side. I don't But then again, I don't know how true that is either because her father was Muslim, according to her, and raised her to be Muslim because in I think 2020 or something like that, she made a big deal about renouncing Islam and no longer wanting to be Muslim, because she started off as a booby streamer. I'm sure you remember
yeah,
that
yeah, I do.
phenomenon.
Yeah, that was a
Uh,
whole thing.
yeah, so she was part of that where she used her physical appearance to attract viewers. That also attracted a lot of simps, people who were giving her a disproportionate amount of attention and money and shit like that to, because they had some sort of what's the word? Fucking, you know what I'm talking about? Um
Yes. Um.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, like a one-sided relationship, that where they were just names that usernames that flew across the fucking chat during her stream,
Yes.
shit like that.
Hmm.
So she's kind of there's a lot of evidence to show that she, one, is fucking retarded, two, massive hypocrite, three, extremely vindictive, four, very self-centered, and the list goes on. She's not a good person at all. She has not once shown she's a good person. She's fucked up time and time again. She lies publicly. It's a fucking. She is a nightmare of a person. Or so
Yeah,
it seems.
that's what I've picked up.
Yeah, yeah, and uh, her and Idubbbz. What anyway? Do you want like the full? I could give you like a Cliff Notes version of Anissa's whole thing and how.
Give me a Cliff Notes thing, and if I have questions and we want to like dive deeper into certain points, we'll go from there.
All right then. Okay. So she's a streamer from Canada. I just dove into the fact that she's part Arab, part Lebanese. Her father was Muslim. She, I think she's been streaming since like 2014.
I know it's been a while.
Yeah, she's been around for a while, but she came up around the same time that Idubbbz had come up, just on different platforms. Her on Twitch, him on YouTube, and him being significantly more successful than she ever was. So I guess like a lot of streamers, she was experimenting with different ways to be provocative, not just like as in being a booby streamer, but just provocative, like trying to stir drama, trying to see where she can insert herself into various situations to gain more traction and attention, you know. That aside with her being a booby streamer. However, with her being one, she would constantly go back and forth between embracing it and denying it and disavowing it. So, you know, despite her then transitioning into OnlyFans, and talking all of this of, oh, you're just an incel because you hate seeing women in sex work, or, you know, that classic defense that she likes to use a lot,
God.
and Idubbbz has used a lot too. Basically, she's also done that. You know, complete hypocrisy. And I get it. People can change over years, whatever, blah, 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 bullshit. But she's been going back and forth like this, and all the way up until her starting the OnlyFans. So she was doing these streams, starting drama with people. She was at the time dating another streamer, and one of the things she would often do was try to get the attention of male YouTubers or streamers that were much bigger than her, trying to flirt with them. Essentially, I don't know, as a means because she wanted to get with them, or like, but she was obviously doing it for some sort of chance at upward mobility in the internet retard hierarchy. You know what I mean?
Internet retard hierarchy.
Exactly.
What a word.
The loser retard pecking order. That's what we're looking at. And she was trying, you know, she would tweet at 𝓈𝓉𝓇𝑜𝓀𝑒𝒸𝑒 about how she wanted to bang him. She
Oh
would tweet
God.
at Chris Ray Gun wanting to bang him. And Chris Ray Gun was someone she actually would stream with or interact with. And he had a girlfriend at the time, and she would just start like asking him sex questions and stuff, or trying to put down his girlfriend in front of him on stream, like stuff like that, to try and weasel her way in. uh
Oh God.
anyway, so she's in San Diego for some sort of, maybe it was VidCon or some bullshit, and she, according to her, had booked an extra day where, you know, staying there an extra day than she originally intended past the convention. And I guess Idubbbz was in, you know, Idubbbz was local. He was in that area. I don't know if he lived there or what. But she basically tweeted at him or messaged him asking if she wanted to hang out, and then proceeded to hang out with him. And that was basically where, I guess you could say, in the grand scheme of things, that's where their relationship started. Was in the, I think at this point this was like 2015, maybe 2015 or like 2016, one of those two.
It had to have been 2016. It had to have been after, during, a little bit after all the, like, you know, his peak.
It was during his peak for sure. It was before, like they were already together by the time the Tana Mongu,
Oh shit.
Tana Mojo, Tana Watch Mojo
Oh,
was, you know, basically when he
yeah.
was after, like they were having their back and forth, they were together. And fun fact, despite how woke she is now, yeah, she's fucking woke. Uh, it was actually her idea, allegedly, to do the
Yes.
say N word bit.
Yeah.
That
Anytime I hear, so yeah, I was gonna mention, I was like, if she's tried to come out and like denounce that sense and be like, we don't agree with that now, I fucking call bullshit. She didn't care, and she still probably doesn't give a fuck.
not really, not in any
Yeah.
meaningful way. If she
No,
does,
no.
it's in a very performative,
Yes.
you know.
The most performative way imaginable.
Yes, exactly, exactly. So basically, um, after, like, I would say around, roughly around the time that, you know, she continued her streaming career, and I guess she always had the, she never wanted to be in Idubbbz's shadow while they were together, and so she would continue
Oh
to try
shit.
streaming or try to do her own thing, be her own separate entity, because I guess having a boyfriend who's probably making millions at this point, and the super famous. I guess that wasn't enough for her. She wanted to be her own thing. And in some cases, I think that's pretty respectable and admirable even, but I think in her case, it's clear it's because she disliked the attention he was getting versus, when it should have been on her because again, she has shown this pattern. She has still shown this pattern where she inserts herself into certain situations. Idubbbz was just stupid enough or down bad enough to let her insert herself in
Oh,
like a parasite. And I'm not saying
right.
Idubbbz is a victim here by any means. They're both
Oh,
terrible people. But
yeah.
she was, I would say, at least publicly, a terrible person first. I'll give you
Yeah.
I'll give you some other accolades. Uh, she would also say a lot of stupid things like for attention. She would also she also has a tendency to speak on a lot of things like she's an expert
That's
without
what white women do.
knowing anything. Yeah, it's yeah, that's really funny. I'm sorry. I just Oh god, yeah.
I'm
Oh yeah.
sorry, dude. Because I see a pattern too in my day-to-day life, and it's not exclusive.
Careful, Shade. Careful with
Hey,
that
hey,
mentality.
hey. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. I've seen enough.
You've seen
I- I've se-
enough
I've se- I've
and you've
seen
had
enough to
enough.
draw my own conclusions.
Understood, understood.
We
That's a
just
different
just for
topic. That's a different
just
topic.
for just for clarification, me and uh me and pridianology here we don't speak for each other. We speak for ourselves on most things.
This is true. This is true.
Yeah,
But
so
um but she's one of those types of people where it's like, actually, I'm really smart and I know a lot about this, so I'm gonna actually I want to sound well. In reality, it's I want to sound smart, so I'm gonna pretend I know a lot about this topic and
it
talk over
it's like
everybody because I want attention.
yeah, it's the Ben Shapiro thing. Like he's a it's being a stupid person that tries to sound smart.
Except with Ben Shapiro, as disagreeable of a person as he is, and annoying as well, obnoxious even, he's at least invested in what he talks about.
Yeah,
If
that's
there's
that's about as far as I'll give him.
exactly, if there's anything you can give him credit for, he at least puts in effort to be knowledgeable on what he talks about. Not
He's
gonna say
committed to the bit.
yes, but this is somebody who, I'll give you an example. I have one loaded up, ready to go. That's
Yes.
uh, that's so I don't even know the context of this, but there was a moment during one of her streams where she was talking about the Holocaust, and actually, I got another one right after this. She was talking about the Holocaust, and I guess had brought up the fact that victims of the Holocaust were experimented on, quote unquote. And she had made the claim that these experiments on Holocaust victims actually had positives to it because they had made medical advances in the process.
Holy
Mind,
shit.
mind you,
Oh no. Oh, holy fuck. Yes, continue.
mind you, the experiments conducted by I'll say Axis countries in general included things like exposing people to diseases, injecting things directly into their bloodstreams, uh, you know, basically just torture. It, that's all it
Yeah.
was. They've
Yeah, it was no different than how companies still experiment on animals and shit these days cuz those ideologies didn't view certain demographics of people as human beings. So
yes,
they just kind of
exactly.
viewed them as a wall to throw shit at and see if it stuck.
But the thing is that generally speaking, most historians can conclude that these experiments were never with the intention of discovering things, because
Yeah, no.
it was simply just a torture program
Yeah, no.
shrouded as something to do
No.
with medical
No.
research.
Yeah, no.
Uh,
They're just doing that shit for the love of the game, dude.
yes, the prime example is Unit 731, you
Holy
know,
oh fuck.
from the
I
Japanese
was gonna
Empire.
mention that.
Yeah, yeah. So the difference is you had Unit 731 with the Japanese, then you had Joseph Mengele, the Angel of Death doctor in Germany. So they were both, you can kind of all like group it together in the same, not the same operation, but just a similar phenomenon going on during the war and during their time in power. But anyway, what they were doing was not medical research, had no scientific method being followed. And again, I'm kind of regurgitating talking points that have already been said, but
No.
I'm just trying to fill you in on the situation. Uh, so she was trying to like say that that they had good had come out of that somehow, and then just never actually mentioned any of the good that she claimed came out of it, and then and has still never apologized for that. By the way, another fun little anecdote. The other one was, do you remember? You might remember this. I don't know. Have you ever heard of the YouTuber Lion Maker?
Oh, that's a name I haven't heard in ages. Yes.
But do you remember anything about him?
Oh, I remember what he did.
Okay. All right. Great.
I remember all of it. I was a very regular I was a very casual regular Keemstar watcher back,
Oh yeah.
drama alert watcher back
Gotcha.
in
Gotcha.
the golden age.
All right. Well, for those in the audience who don't know, uh, this one's going to be really shocking. Lion Maker. All I'm going to say, Minecraft YouTuber, pedophile. I know, right? Fucking unbelievable. Who would have thought? Anyway, when that whole thing was going on, of course, she had to insert herself somehow, and didn't know who the guy was. She didn't, and just started to, I guess, defend him blindly without knowing the situation. And she was trying to like find some weird way, like, how can I make this about me? So I guess she was talking about like, oh, I feel bad for him because I know that allegations are stressful, and I've been through it, and you guys just have no idea how what content creators fucking go through, because this is so stressful and so bad. And then like a chatter, like text to speech chat whatever bullshit, said he's in jail because he was convicted for his crimes. Like he was charged with this by the police. He's in jail right now. And she was like, "Oh, okay, I didn't know that. Oh, like just trying to play off
Brush it
her,
off.
yeah, brush off her fucking massive
Yeah, you know
oversight
what?
there."
Never mind. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Yeah, actually I don't want to talk about this anymore now that I'm wrong. I'm going to move on and pretend I'm not. Pretend I had no idea, and I'm but still like talking out of, other thing too was like her, there, during the creator clash debacle, I guess she was a lot of people were asking Idubbbz about his training, and she would often speak over him and be like, well, actually, like, I've been managing his training because I have a background in kinesiology or some bullshit. Uh, she has no background of anything to speak of aside from being a dumb bitch. So, um,
Yeah.
uh,
I was about to say that sounds like the only background she does have. That's the only information I've been provided, and the only information I've really seen over the last decade.
yeah, it's no secret. It's no fucking question. This is just who she is as a person, and who she's always been. And it's, you know and I'm sure that she has had some influence on Idubbbz becoming this way. But I was,
Oh,
he's a
absolutely.
he's a grown-ass man in his mid-30s. So um I don't know what you want me to say. Like, he, you know I don't think he's a victim being like Stockholm syndromed into being a fucking cuck retard asshole dickhead. So you know what I mean? I don't see
No,
how, he's not a victim here. Anyway.
I'm sure that she scares him. I'm sure
Yeah,
that she scares him.
there definitely could be a certain level of mistreatment, I'll say, or
Yes.
it's no, she's if she's a terrible person just publicly, it would be no surprise at all if she's terrible toward him. But again,
Yeah.
I
Who
don't.
the fuck knows? Who the fuck knows what's happening whenever she's not typing on fucking Twitter or they're on video together? Who the fuck knows what's going on?
Showing her hole online.
Yep, yep.
Uh, that's
Mm.
but yeah. So with fucking Anissa, then after that, her being with Idubbbz, already showing that she's a terrible person. Another terrible thing she had done was she had this Discord server with like her most loyal, devoted, fucking, you know, simp followers. Her fucking coven of tier 3 subs. She would often, because another problem with her, she is a chronic oversharer. Any embarrassing thing we know about Idubbbz and her,
It's from her. Yeah,
they've come
it's
from her
from her.
directly. Like Idubbbz shitting himself, Idubbbz having bad stinky breath, so many other things. It's really bad. It's really bad. I almost want to feel bad for him, but he's had the ability to press the eject button at any point during any of this. So it's like, come on now. Let's be real here. So, um, yeah. So she's sorry. I like just completely lost my train of thought. Give me a second.
No, you're good.
Fucking Anissa. Where was I? Where was I? Just that.
He's definitely living in simp ass faggot land. That's for sure.
Damn. The first bomb's been dropped. The first.
I don't know what else to call it.
It's all right, Shane. You are gay enough. You are gay enough, I think.
Spiritually.
Spiritually, you are very gay. Yes. Uh, that's okay. Mm. So anyway, basically, you get the picture of who Anissa. Oh, that was my point.
Yeah,
Anissa
yeah.
would very frequently, she's an overshare. She would overshare in this Discord. She'd very frequently vent in the server, especially about her relationship problems, which already is a terrible idea. Even more of a terrible idea when your boyfriend, who you're venting about, is this very famous YouTuber who every single one of your fans knows of. So she would talk about their relationship openly. Um,
Yeah.
she was also still tweeting, like doing that attention grabbing, sort of provocative tweeting at
Engagement
other
baiting.
engagement baiting other male YouTubers and wanting to bang them, including Leafy. When
Holy shit.
when Idubbbz
God, how
made
how bad is that aged? How bad that one's aged, dude.
like fucking milk
Yeah,
in
he's
the
just like,
summer.
yeah, he just became like, he's just the embodiment of like what I imagine like just a morbidly obese chud looks like, dude. Like it's so bad.
He
It's so bad,
reminds me of like a little worm creature now, like a little like
dude.
Jerry from Rick and Morty.
Yes.
His balls have shriveled up and they've gone into hiding. His balls are on the lam right now, okay? Because none of this has anything to do with him no longer saying the N word. That's what they like to chop it up as. Oh, you just don't like it because I've changed. I've grown as a person. He has this fucking Reddit ass attitude about it where he's like, oh, I'm just better now. I've taken the high road. And it's like, no, my friend, my brother in Christ, you've lost your fucking balls. Every stream you do now is sad and depressing. Every fucking video is boring as shit. And it's been that way for a while. This has nothing to do with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
God fucking damn. Anyway, so you get the picture. She's not only a bad person, but has proven to be a bad partner. She has done things that I think both you and I would have pulled the cord on if we were in Idubbbz's position, you know?
Oh,
We,
absolutely.
we would have said sayonara a long time ago if we were so unlucky to be with a wretched, vile woman like that.
Oh, absolutely.
So
It's not even a question.
exactly. It's fucking over. It would be fucking over so fast. Okay. So she is in decline. You know, she's been in decline. People don't really care about her. She never really had anything to offer aside from just being a booby streamer and
Being an annoying white woman on the internet.
yeah. Yeah. So she goes through this decline, and she's crying about it. There's videos of her you can find of her crying about losing viewership and stuff. And this was around 2019 and 2020, and so then Idubbbz's first tower is hit when she decides to start an OnlyFans. And in all honesty, that alone, I feel like who gives a shit? That's
Yeah,
between
no.
them. Two consenting adults here, okay? We're not with Anissa, thank God. But so realistically, like we have no business in I guess I
I'm
don't know
sure
having a
we're both
problem with it.
25. Yeah, we're both 25. We both already had our anisa at one point or another.
That's insane, but you're not wrong. Uh,
But like you said, we seized the operation way before it's gotten to the point that he has let it get to.
yeah, I would say so. Anyway, uh, but either way, that's him. I don't think that's something, I would shame anybody for. I know you wouldn't. Because realistically, who fucking cares? You know,
Yes.
it's not like even if you are like a devoted iDubbbz fan and you're like, I do not want to see that. I do not like that. Like, it's not like he's posting it. It's fucking, it's on her shit. Like, I don't know. It just seemed like a very big non-issue. But of course, people are gonna make fun of it. I thought it was funny. I'm going to make fun of it. It is funny, you know? Like, oh, dude. Like, obviously, people, even if people don't have a problem with it, they're probably still going to make jokes about it because it's
Oh
funny.
yeah.
And it's
Yeah, it is funny.
easy to make fun of. It's like now, if you get into a beef with anybody, which is something Idubbbz was frequently known for and still does, even though him and
Absolutely.
Anissa frequently claim that they're not trying to start anything with anybody, they seem to always be invested in some sort of turmoil. So people made jokes about it, right? Like, what else do you expect? And it wasn't anything crazy. Like, I think at this point, like, it was very mild. It was just, haha, Idubbbz a cuck now. Which, I mean, technically he is. But at the same time, who gives a shit? Live and let live. This is fucking America. If you want to be a cuck, be a
Oh,
cuck. That's not the
yeah.
problem here. The problem is he addressed it. He acknowledged it, and he had so many opportunities to just like let it go. If he just let it go, he didn't talk about it. Eventually, people would get bored, forget, move on. It would have been like nothing
Yeah,
ever happened.
the worst thing you can do in that situation is acknowledge it.
Right. And not
Is
only
like put
acknowledge
any
it,
like wood on the fire.
exactly. But not only did he acknowledge it, but he was basically very clearly upset by it. And that was his second fatal error. Not only acknowledging it, but also showing the internet at large that he was upset that people were making fun of him and Anissa. Now, I think it's perfectly understandable to be upset. I know I would be upset in that situation. Nobody
Yeah.
likes,
Yeah, of course.
as terrible and vile and disgusting as Anissa might be, he does not see her that way, clearly. whether it be
No.
Stockholm syndrome or just true love. He does not like to see that. And I get that. I would not like to see that. I would be very upset by that. I would be upset if, anybody I cared about was being made fun of online. Who wouldn't? But the thing is that if you show that you're upset, you are showing your vulnerability. People are
That's
going to pick at that like fucking flies. It's like maggots going
yeah.
into an open wound, okay? They're
Yeah,
going
that's
to fester.
that's a Pandora's box that it's really hard to
Yes.
close.
That is, in my opinion, the defining trait of a lolcow. Someone online who very frequently expresses the things that they get upset about, which results in people trying to trigger that person and upset them further, and then posting their reaction online, which is something that Idubbbz has done. He went from being one of the most popular and most awesome, funny, cool YouTubers on the planet. Like, there was a point of time where, like, people idolized him beyond a shadow of a doubt. Like, the dude was making waves. He had motion. He had sauce. He had steez. He was fucking sturdy as shit. Now, people are calling him a lolcow and a cuck. It's both a
Or
comedy and a tragedy.
well, what a fall from fucking grace.
I know. I know. I think the only other time we've really seen this at this magnitude was fucking Boogie 2988. And that's another insane story that we
That's
gotta talk about at some point because that's also
whenever something happens with him again, like recently, like something big, we'll definitely bring it up. I was gonna ask because I remember you mentioned this whenever we called the other day. Speaking of Anisa, didn't you say that her, along with a bunch of other people, have to apologize to H3H3?
not her.
Not her.
That
Okay,
is
who are you talking about then?
three individuals. You might not know who any of them are, but all three of them are basically within the sphere of influence of the Hassan Empire.
Oh,
Okay.
fucking lord!
Hassan has gone back to his Turkic roots and has established a new golden horde of libtard socialism and
Shit.
and political grifting at its finest. He has created a well-oiled machine of fucking enterprise of retards. And you know, and three of them include three unlucky ladies who all have, they are all a rabbit hole in their own rights. Very very similar people on the white woman political compass, although two of them I think are also part Arab to some degree. Uh, very similar to Anisa. That's what I'm saying. They're very close to Anisa on the political compass of, you know, white women. But anyway, those were Frogan, Denims, Casey Tron that got sued by Ethan Klein. So even though Ethan Klein and Anisa are ops now, he did not sue them because they didn't do anything to him that would be grounds for him to be able to sue them. Same with Hassan. He wasn't affected by this. Hassan had laid out his pawns to take the counter attack from Ethan. Are you there, Shane?
Yes, yeah, I am.
So anyway, with all that being said, yeah, that was the first shot that was fired at Idubbbz's armor, and it left a crack in his armor, which has effectively demoralized him, I think, and has left him
Yeah,
has left him by the wayside. He went from greatest YouTuber of all time to cuck
One of
roll
them.
cow.
One of them for sure.
Definitely.
I think my favorite's always going to be Filthy Frank.
Definitely.
I think.
Yeah, and he's still doing well in life. He's about to release a new
Yeah.
album, and
Yeah, he's a talented dude.
the first single I heard off of it's actually really good. I like it a lot. Like I'm almost relieved because I think his more recent music before the single, like after his first album, I kind of started to lose interest in his stuff. Like after Ballads 1, it just kind of got a little boring. His album after that had some good songs. Nectar, I think it's called. He made it, but after that, I kind of he fell off my radar. And then, but this single though, I think it had something to do with his label. That's why his like later music is kind of boring because they were, you know,
They always put their hands in shit, dude.
yeah, they dealt with a yeah, he was dealing with a phenomenon that I know you've seen and experienced in many cases.
Yeah, not
In
nearly
the
to that extent, but
no, no,
yeah, no.
no, that was a corporate level of rape.
Yeah, yeah, that's yeah, I couldn't even probably begin to fathom or imagine like being put in the position where these are and be like these are the producers you're going to go to, these are the artists you're going to work with. This is how it's going to work. Now, go fucking do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No. Mm-mm.
But to finish the Idubbbz saga, we're getting close to the end. I promise. I've painted a picture for you of what the situation is, and I think you got it. So after that, it peters out eventually. I mean, I'm sure people still bring it up that he's a cuck, whatever. He eventually gets over it, proceeds on with normal. At this point, he had switched to like doing documentaries, and so his video, his output on of videos was already slowing down. And he first did a documentary on Airsoft Fatty. Do you know who that is?
No.
No. He actually,
I don't think so.
it's actually a really, it's actually a really good video.
Yeah, I remember like a lot of people didn't really hate a lot of his documentary stuff that he would do.
Yeah, yeah, it's got 24 million views. So this was obviously a fucking hit. And it's really good. It's really fucking good. But yeah, Airsoft Fatty is another YouTuber. He's another story within himself. He actually was on Sam Hyde's Fish Tank, if you remember, and he was very funny on that. But seems like a cool dude. I don't have anything bad to say about him at all, at least from what I've seen. He's a very funny guy. I'm gonna send I'm gonna send the documentary in the fucking Discord so you can watch it because it's good.
Oh
I would
yeah.
I would actually recommend watching it. Here, fucking there you go.
Well, we'll give it a spin later.
Yeah, yeah, definitely worth watching. It's like an hour, but that was probably the last good Idubbbz video I've seen. He made a couple other documentaries. He did one on another guy called Dax Flame. I didn't really like it as much. I watched. I was like, eh. It didn't have the same aura as the first documentary. But then he would walk into another problem for himself. And that was when he decided to do a documentary on Sam Hyde. And now at this point in the timeline, we're about at 2021. And so I guess Idubbbz had reached out to Sam Hyde, and we all know Sam Hyde, his, how controversial and divisive of a figure he can be. Um,
Oh yeah, yeah. He's a character.
Personally, I think he's a very funny guy, but Um, I think that's really as far as it goes with me. I just find him funny. I don't really have much
Yeah.
else to say about him. But at least stuff that isn't speculation or. Anyway, he's another topic for sure. So Idubbbz does a documentary on him, but doesn't release it. Sam Hyde had, I guess, invested $10,000 of his own money into the making of this video, and was hoping to see some kind of return on it. I'm sure, if not monetary, at least in terms of like, oh well, at least this gets made. I'm not going to speculate too much there, but he he never releases it. Sam Hyde starts to publicly urge him to release it. And eventually, Sam Hyde releases a version of his own that him and his crew had produced while Idubbbz was filming their documentary. And it was really good. Have you seen it, Shane?
Like some of like the outtakes and shit. Like yeah, I've seen bits and pieces of it.
It's another it's a it's another video I would urge you to watch. You don't really have to watch Idubbbz's, but I would highly recommend watching Sam's. So Sam Hyde releases this video, and it basically shows that Sam Hyde and his crew were just fucking with Idubbbz the whole time. Not but not at his expense. They were fucking with him to try to make an interesting, funny video, I guess. But the difference is that Idubbbz isn't funny anymore at this point. Idubbbz isn't funny. He's serious, and he wanted this to be a serious documentary.
He's an artist now.
Yeah, I guess he's important somehow. He's somehow more important than Sam Hyde, and wanted to show that. He wanted to have a serious look at Sam Hyde. Let's have a conversation about a fucking internet comedian that's serious. And Sam Hyde, he's kind of a impenetrable force field. You're never gonna get him to be serious, especially when you're already kind of opposed to him, and you're trying to peer and peek into his life. Like
Yeah,
there was
he's a very unserious individual altogether.
Yeah, and there was never going to be a point where he was going to show any of that to Idubbbz, to some random YouTuber who they had beef amongst each other very early on. It was a very small altercation they had like years prior. Basically, in 2013, do you remember Idubbbz's Kickstarter crap videos?
Yes.
He made Sam Hyde and his original crew, $1 Million Extreme, they were doing a bit where they were trying to raise money for this My Little Pony Brony game. It wasn't real. It was all bullshit. It was all just to fuck with people. And Idubbbz was one of the people who fell for it, doing a Kickstarter crap video on it, shitting on it. And so Sam Hyde basically DMCA'd the video to get it taken down. Idubbbz messages Sam Hyde asking like, dude, like dude, with the flip guy, with the flip bro. And Sam Hyde says, if you can bench 270, I'll repeal the DMCA and reinstate the video. That was his response to Idubbbz being like, hey, with the flip guy.
Seems like pretty reasonable terms to me.
Idubbbz, maybe if you benched 270 or whatever the fuck it was, you wouldn't be in this mess. 12 years later. So anyway, this documentary comes out, and that basically builds enough pressure to get Ian Idubbbz to release his version of the documentary. It comes out. It's actually not that bad, but it clearly shows that Idubbbz was trying to like get the jump on Sam and make him look stupid. But the problem is Sam Hyde is already making himself look stupid to be funny. So you're not going to get him to look actually stupid.
It's
And
not gonna work.
yeah, basically, and I'm kind of generalizing because again, there's a lot. This is kind of its own drama that could be talked about for an hour. But you get the picture. But it was, at least according to Sam Hyde, he did it all in good fun. He was just trying to make an interesting video and actually like thought the video that Idubbbz had made was good. But I think at this point it was clear that Ian was not happy and wanted nothing to do with Sam Hyde after this. He was like, "Okay, it's out. Now leave me alone." And I feel like this is what caused Ian to immediately go into wanting to do boxing. You know, the whole YouTuber boxing bullshit. You know, he's shifting from YouTube documentary slop to YouTube boxing slop, essentially. And and I think it had something to do with rice gum and all that bullshit. But
Oh
anyway,
god. Another insufferable fucking name I haven't heard in a decade. Oh, Lord.
but we can safely say that Idubbbz is now more insufferable than him. It's interesting to see him, you know. It's like the saying goes, you either die a hero or live long enough to
Become
become
the
a villain.
villain.
Exactly. Like, and especially if you look at it like uh Filthy Frank left YouTube in 2017 to pursue music. He's still remembered extremely fondly,
Mm.
and he's left
He has no filler videos. There's no filler bloat content from him.
no. He left YouTube on an extremely positive note
Yeah.
to pursue an even bigger endeavor that has also, that's basically made him even more successful than he ever would have been on YouTube.
I always like to, have been around, like, involved in like watching these people's content for as long as I have to like be able to like drop. I forgot who it was that I said this to, but I think it was whenever I was in North Carolina with my brother and his girlfriend
Mhm.
and their kid, and like we're talking about like Joji came up and I was like, you know he used to be a YouTuber, right? And they're
Mhm.
like, what? And I was like, yeah. And I showed them Filthy Frank videos. They thought they're funny. I was like, guess what else he did? And they're like, what? He's like, yeah, he's the guy behind the Harlem Shake.
Mhm.
He's kind of always been a
And what's even crazier is that he's still on YouTube to some degree, or has been, because he's responsible for Dracula Flow,
yes.
which are some of the funniest, in my opinion, some of the funniest videos to come out on YouTube in the last
Oh,
like
absolutely.
five fucking years. They're awesome.
And the entirety of the website.
Mhm.
They're all good. I showed my dad some of those a few
Have I?
like last year.
I don't know if I told you this, but have I? Did I ever tell you that I've spoken to Dracula Flow directly before?
I don't think so.
That's fucking crazy. Yeah, I did. So this was early this year. I want to say like February of 2025. I was and it's so funny too when it happened because I was going to my friend Bannon's bachelor party or bachelor, I'd say it's more of a celebration. Basically, him and I and a bunch of other friends of his that I would become friends with we went to Washington D.C. for a weekend, basically just got hammered the entire time. Excuse me. I just had a very
No, you're good.
weird I just had a very weird long burp that was oddly
Oh.
quiet. Anyway, and him and I were at the Pensacola airport to catch our flight to DC. And we were, he's also a fan of Dracula Flow, and that was something that, him and I have always talked about or made references to.
Oh yeah.
And I brought up, I was like, oh yeah, that guy has an Instagram. I follow it. And then I looked to see, and I don't know if he had messaged me directly, but it was something like he was trying to reach out to people to basically crowdfund this like Dracula Flow movie he wanted to produce or something.
Oh
And
shit.
So I sent him $10. I was just like, you know what? I love Dracula Flow. It seems like just a nice, harmless old man. I'm gonna send him fucking $10. And then like that just started like a full blown conversation. So I have a audio clip of Dracula Flow saying, "Thank you, Jeremy, for the $10." Or five, I think it was $5. It wasn't 10. And
We were
and
both talking to we were both talking to internet celebrities earlier this year.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Go on.
me and Graham. Yeah, me and Graham are. Oh, we still are. Yeah, me and Graham are in the Dave Blunt's Discord server still, I think. But
Mhm.
yeah, we just would go in there and like he would be in VC, and he just turned into a guy that we had to like talk to like a few nights a week for like about a month or two.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, yeah,
yeah,
you and I both have had very strangely close interactions with a lot of very significant people. It's
yeah.
it's
I
kind of insane.
I I was gonna post this on Twitter today because whenever I played So What in 2022, like we had art like I had all access, artist power king, all that sort of shit. And
Mhm.
do you know who PP Cocaine is?
No, I don't think so.
The
I'll
bitch
look.
that sings that Three Musketeers song that was like all over TikTok in like 2020,
Hold on, give me a sec.
2021.
Okay, she looks familiar. Let me listen to this
Yeah.
song real quick. I've probably heard it. Hold on.
No, yeah, no, go for it. Um,
Okay, yep, I know that song.
yeah. So I came across her in catering,
Really?
and like, so I got a picture of her, with her somewhere. I'll throw it up in post if I can find it.
Mm, mhm,
But later that day, we, I think I went out to my car, like either me and Hunter went out to my car or some shit.
mhm.
We just like cool off, like because like you know, if anybody who's been to like Warped Tour or like Mayhem Fest or any music festival, especially in the summer, this was late May that we went.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, it's hot as shit. There's like barely any AC, and just to confirm, because I always heard a rumor, oh, all the bands on those stages have fans on like over them, so like they're not hot as fuck like you are in the crowd. No, no. Whenever we played the Revolver stage, dude, it was hot as fuck.
Mm.
So I think we went out to the car to like just to cool off, like go somewhere that had fucking AC, and she was parked right next to my car.
No shit.
The car that was right next to me was wasn't like she had a big old crew or anything with her. She literally drove to So What from wherever the fuck she's from and
She's from LA,
parked.
allegedly.
Yeah, yeah. She drove her own fucking car, and it was just parked right next to mine. And I guess this is how we found out, because I guess she had the same fucking idea, because she also went out to her car and like she got in and like she leaned her seat back and like turned up her AC and shit. And I was like, I think me and Hunter, maybe Hunter was me, maybe someone else was, but I looked over, was like, holy shit.
That's insane.
Yeah,
That's actually awesome.
yes, yeah. That I think that day I met her. I met Johnny Gilbert. Um,
Mhm.
I met JT Woodruff from Hawthorne Heights.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We saw them, didn't we?
Yes, I saw. There's some people that I saw, but like didn't have the nuts to walk up to.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I've
saw Spencer Chamberlain from Under
I've
Oath.
been in that situation before where I've
Yeah,
I've s encountered famous people and just didn't
yeah,
wanna, like, it was one of those situations where I was either the only person who recognized them or I was just the first one to recognize them, and I would just be
yeah. And
like,
you're like, I was just too scared. Like I saw
yeah,
Spencer Chamberlain, I
I
was
would
like, holy shit.
yeah, I just awkwardly, like, stared at them for a couple minutes. I was like, "Oh, shit, yeah, that's them." Like, legit.
Um,
Um,
I I bumped into. I like brushed shoulders with the two fucking dudes from fucking Ray Surmurd.
Oh yeah, yeah. Graham
I
told
was
me
like,
about that.
yeah, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, fucking 2 Chains.
That's cool.
Saw that guy in K. I was like, what the fuck? Like, being there was a surreal experience.
Mm-hmm.
Being there was a surreal experience.
Yeah, that had to have been awesome.
Yeah, so that's about whenever it comes to being in like direct like interaction with like people that have some sort of like public figure status. It was definitely them. Oh, on the subject of talking about Idubbbz earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Um, both nights I didn't run into her at So What, but third string on all 3 days of So What would have after parties in Deep Ellum at
Mm-hmm.
like trees,
Mm-hmm.
and for some reason they had Tana Mojo at all of them.
Really?
Yeah,
What the
and
fuck is she doing
it
there?
I think she does something music related now or
I
something.
think
I
she
think
does. I think
yeah,
that is true.
yeah, I think she does that, but like, in the position I was in, like these were all events I definitely could have gone to and I could have gotten them for free. All I'd have to do was like flash my wristband or like my like VIP badge or whatever the fuck we had. And
You should
I
have
remember
not.
me and Graham and Hunter were like, should we do it?
You should have done it.
not that, but like but like I was like, should we go like because like my thing that I had was just like going up to her and be like, yo, I loved you in that content cop video I saw back when I was like
Oh man,
16.
that
It took everything in us to be like, that might not be a good idea.
you should have done it. You should have
I
done
should have. Looking back, I should have. I should have done it. But no, there was probably multiple occasions where I could have met Tana Mojo as well.
it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but who knows what
Maybe
path.
she would have been cool about it. Maybe she would have been cool about it. It's like, if I get a picture of you, can we like pose the same way we're in that video and I could put my thumb up and shit?
She seems a lot cooler about it now than she was before because
Yeah.
like
I know they've publicly like, appeared together and are like, they're on neutral terms, decent terms with each other now.
yeah, but also like because I'm gonna that also ties back into the Idubbbz thing because
Yeah.
so after that whole documentary debacle, that was kind of when more and more people began poking fun at Idubbbz, trying to make the accusation he was trying to go after Sam Hyde, and that pretty much brought his whole shift in content into question, where people started saying things like, "Oh, I miss the old Idubbbz," because Idubbbz had pretty much at this point like completely disavowed Sam Hyde and everything he stood for. Oh, I remember what else this leads to. So anyway, he does the first Creator Clash. He actually banned Sam Hyde from the event because Sam Hyde wanted to go. He bought tickets for it and sent his whole crew to go, but he couldn't go because Idubbbz didn't want him there. And basically, his crew, they were given a hard time the whole time they were there. And then, but despite this little hiccup, first Creator Clash was a surprising success. So they decided to do it the following year. And I'm sure you know all about like at least what Creator Clash itself is about, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
just
do.
a bunch of fucking YouTubers boxing each other. The dude from Epic Mealtime was there. Fucking, uh, a bunch of like YouTubers. Most of them like either older YouTubers or smaller YouTubers that are friends with Idubbbz or his girlfriend, his wife now. Uh, but anyway, first one goes off without a hitch. Well, just one hitch, that being the whole Sam Hyde thing. But who cares? They don't like each other anymore. Who gives a fuck?
Yes.
So they decided to do a second one. The second one, they're like, okay, we're gonna do it bigger and it's gonna be bigger, it's gonna be cooler, or whatever the fuck. But they bring this other YouTuber by the name of Foggy Fresh onto the card to box. And I'm sure you've heard of him, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, OG YouTuber, did a lot of funny raps, actually talented musician as well. Uh, but someone who's kind of been off the radar for several years at this point. He's an older name. And I guess during his promotion, because that's part of it, the boxers promoting the event themselves, he makes a joke saying that if he loses his fight, he will subscribe to Anisa's OnlyFans. They did not like that joke. They take him off the card. The other
Oh,
thing too
fucking Lord.
is that because I guess Sam Hyde in some way wanted to be involved, and because he couldn't and had actually asked Idubbbz to be on the fight, Idubbbz didn't want him on the fight, so he trains the guy from Epic Mealtime, Harley Morenstein, to be a fighter, and actually Harley wins his fight. This time around, Sam Hyde trained Foggy Fresh. But now Foggy Fresh got taken off the card, and now people are trying to and the thing is that they gave like a super generic speech of, oh, we regrettably inform you that, it was all just like corpo speak. It was corp slop, nothing answer, nothing explanation. Big old nothing burger is what they give us as to why he's off the card. But when it's so fucking obvious that it is very likely because he made an OnlyFans joke, or because he trained with Sam Hyde, and we know they don't like Sam Hyde now. It has to be one of those things. And again, more and more pressure now is building up. This is the third time. This is the third time that people are like, Idubbbz, what the fuck, man? Are you going to say something? Now, this time he says something. Again, gives a whole video. Basically, in quotations, I think, I miss the old Idubbbz. And it's basically him just flat out saying, I've switched my content. I'm sorry for what I've done. I'm sorry, black people. I don't like.
I
I'm
remember that video.
yeah,
I remember the
I'm a bad person. I'm trying to change. I've gone woke now. Uh,
video.
I'm going to start an apology tour. Also, I don't like Sam Hyde because he made fun of my wife and he's racist or something. And I didn't like the documentary, and I'm not doing content cop anymore, and I'm not gonna, I'm gonna private all the videos because I'm gay and I'm a cuck, and you know, my girlfriend is a fucking horrible bitch. I think they were married at this point. Anyway,
Oh God.
there's so many other things at this point you could make fun of Idubbbz for: the fucking shitty, inferior pedo stash, the shitty mullet, the fucking shitty tattoos. He's just gone mask
He
off. The
he is
armor is
he is
gone.
he is definitely his relationship with her is entirely out of him just being down bad.
It has to be, or just
It,
fucking.
like like,
un-
have you seen what the guy has always looked like? I mean, come on, let's be fucking serious here for a second. He's not a like objectively speaking, to the eye, he's not exactly he's not the most pleasant fixture of a
no,
human being.
no, no. But you know what? At least he was funny and had balls. He doesn't even have
Yeah,
that anymore.
exactly.
And
His personality wasn't intact. Was intact. Now he's
nothing.
washed in every way humanly imaginable that a
Right.
person possibly could fucking be.
I mean, Ethan
So
Klein did make the claim that Ian lost his virginity to Anissa. So he was friends with him for a long time. So I'm just saying that I would take it with a
I could
grain of
see it.
salt.
No, I could see it.
Yeah, I would take it with a grain of salt, but it's also really fucking funny. Even if it's not true, it's still funny to say. Um, you know, who the fuck knows? But anyway, so obviously Creator Clash 2, it goes on, but it's a lot shakier now. A lot less people care about it.
Didn't it like not profit anything, so they couldn't donate anything to charity?
Yes, they actually lost $250,000. And that was the next thing, the next hammer, the next nail in the fucking Idubbbz coffin is they lost money on a charity event. And it's shown that less they had, and they were chopping it up to, oh, you know, it was a business risk. It was fucking, it was a mismanagement or something. And it's like, oh yeah, it was a mismanagement, all right. Because they were throwing fucking frivolous parties and giving, they were giving away money during the production of this event. After parties, they were fucking, you know, like private jets even, or at least paying for everybody's flight. You know, flying people, not private jets. We're gonna take that one off the record, but fucking flying people out, bringing in other YouTubers at their expense who had nothing to do with the actual event. They weren't fighters, they weren't promoters, they were nothing to the event. So this is obviously not good. Combined with the I miss the old IDubbbz video where he basically says, yes, we took out Foggy Fresh, and there were also a lot of inconsistencies in that video. Now, they start talking about wanting to do a third one. The first one was already kind of shaky. The second one was a disaster. Now they want to do it a third time? So they go on, and it's already looking bad. Now, granted, they still have enough support from fans and other YouTubers to like, okay, maybe they could turn this around. IDubbbz did end up raising, I think, a decent amount of money to charity in a like streamathon, whatever. He might have even made up that $250,000, but still, at the end of the day, they just broke even. You know,
Yeah.
you went from 250,000 in the negative to zero, as if the event never happened. So it's like, okay, enough people were sympathetic enough, you know, to support a third event. They got new fighters, and a lot of them were actually members of the crew for the H3 podcast that they do now. And with that podcast, you know, so they had members of the crew on the card, and then Ethan gets involved. You know, but the event hasn't happened yet. Creator Clash 3 never happened, and Creator Clash as a whole is no more. So they, you know, Ethan gets in his whole dispute over Israel Palestine, and that's a anthill I don't want to go near. You know, as a topic to discuss, because
Oh yeah.
neither of us are fucking qualified in any regard to talk about any of that. But anyway, um, you know, because Ethan is Jewish and his wife's Jewish, his wife's Israeli, she was in the IDF. You know, they are obviously to some degree sympathetic to Israel, even though they have disavowed what's going on there, and they have acknowledged, and you know, they've spoken out against Israel routinely, and have outright called what's happening in Israel a genocide. You know, they are obviously on the side of the Palestinians.
Yeah.
Ultimately, their problem that, you know, Hassan and that decrepit part of the internet has a problem with is that he supports a two-state solution. He hopes that peace can be made and both sides can coexist. They are outright against that. And that was where that beef started, because the war in Gaza broke out in 2023. That
Shit, it's been going on longer than that. People think it started October 7th.
You're absolutely right. And you know, you and I have gone back and forth a lot.
Oh yeah.
This, you know.
On our own we have.
So I guess IDubbbz's opinions on Israel were seen as a lot more controversial after tensions began to rise even higher than they already were. You know, and basically just started to sum him up as a Zionist. You know, even though I guess to some degree, if you want to take the dictionary definition of Zionism, yes, he would technically be, because he does believe that a Jewish state should exist. But either way, that's beside the point, because this is fucking internet drama. So, you know, clearly one's a much more serious topic than the other. But
oh yeah. Oh.
He gets a lot of criticism over this. Him and Hassan have a falling out over it, because Hassan is now stuck between a rock and a hard place, where he's got a Jewish co-host for a gay podcast they had. And you know, but he doesn't want to defend him because he's a coward and has to grift. He chooses grifting over his own friendship and business partnership with Ethan, you know, by just being like vague and being like, oh, you know, sorry, Ethan, sorry that my fans are attacking you for being Jewish or for not completely hating Israel. My bad. I'm still not going to do anything about it though. So that causes a falling out. And again, now, you know, Ethan and his crew, like Ethan's business interests are also tied with Ian's. And Ian at this point is starting to slowly gravitate and get friendlier and friendlier with Hassan, primarily because of Anisa. And because again, she's a part Arab, so she's got the whole, you know, she's very big on the whole everything going on, of course. You know, she's
Oh yeah.
very passionate about current events. So basically, you know, I guess it got to the point where Ethan got swatted and people were sending stuff to his house. People were calling CPS on him. It was getting, you know, really bad. And I guess he had reached out to Ian, who he thought was still his friend at the time, because he was promoting and defending Ian this entire time and all of his misgivings. You know, he was being a loyal friend to him, standing by him because they were good friends and they went way back, you know.
It's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, you know. And he fucking, I guess, you know, which granted, like, I don't really think Ian had to pick a side, you know. To his defense, this really had nothing to do with him. He had his own problems with a fucking failing boxing event. And you know, attacks at his own character, his own personal life, his own integrity, whatever, you know. Even though it was caused by him, like he's got enough on his plate, you know what I mean? So he, I guess, gets reached out to by Ethan and is like, "Hey, I see that you're like positively promoting and interacting with these people who are outright attacking me. Could you please say something in my defense to, I guess, or could you stick up for me in this troubling, stressful time?" You know, basically reaching out to him as a friend to defend him, which again is something that um, I think Ian would have been well in his right to say no to. Like, hey man, that sucks. Like, you know, I think what a good friend would do who didn't want to get involved is be like, yeah, that's not my circus, not my monkeys, but you know, at the very least, offer some support in, you know, offer some support in private, right? He doesn't even do that. He basically completely disregards it and says, "Oh, it's not that bad," and publicly says these things. Oh, you know, just fucking, I don't know, go to therapy or something. Go talk to mental health professionals. That's what we're doing. You'll get through it, buddy. Like, and then of course that's what caused the falling out between Ethan and Ian. That would lead to Ian making a content cop, bringing back content cop for this petty gay dispute that Ian basically caused by saying probably the worst things you could possibly say to somebody who had CPS called on them, imaginable. And so the content cop fucking sucks, but it clearly shows he's taking a side with Hassan in this matter because of fucking Israel Palestine bullshit. And essentially, you know, that's and the content cop flops. Nobody fucking likes it. And now Ian at this point is like full lol cow. It's over. He's like lost all of his money. He's begging for money on streams now. His streams are only getting 150 views if he's lucky.
Oh shit.
He has completely fallen off and he's lost everything as a means of getting closer to Hassan because that's his next pivot, I suppose, now that you know, he stopped doing comedy. He couldn't do documentaries anymore and couldn't do boxing events anymore. He's now resorted to political commentary, which he fucking sucks at because one, he's so lifeless and dull now. He's practically brain dead and clearly doesn't know enough about the topics he's talking about. So like even as serious political commentary, it fucking sucks. And he's still trying to be funny, but he's not fucking funny because he has no balls and no fucking flavor in anything he does anymore. It's
He's
just
in
sad.
an oversaturated market.
That not only that, but he just fucking sucks at it.
He's probably just like at this point he's probably just tired of being like an internet personality. But
He's
like, you know,
probably
it's the only
depressed.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's cornered, depressed. He might have brain damage because he lost both boxing matches he held. He might have brain
Yeah, that
damage. He might be a cuck with brain
uh,
damage.
yeah, he might be a brain concussed fucktard.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Shane, if I ever end up like him, please kill me.
yeah, I got you,
Just
dude.
put me,
Old Yeller,
yeah,
man.
yeah. Put me out of my misery.
But
I I think that would be the best thing for me.
it would be the most humane thing to do.
Yes, it would be humane for myself
What a
and everyone around
God,
me.
yeah. What a beginning to end.
Yeah,
What a beginning to end.
that's where we're at now, basically.
But
I might have missed some things, but those are the broad
oh
strokes.
shit, dude. Oh, God, yeah.
There's a lot.
The broad strokes.
There's a
The,
lot.
yeah, it's
It has layers.
Lord. Fuck.
But yeah, that's
Yeah,
fucking some
that's
rising.
a hell of a conclusion right there.
Yeah, yeah, it's still
I'm
ongoing.
gonna
He's still declining, and I imagine something else retarded regarding him is going to come out.
nothing nearly as important because it's at a point where
Yeah,
it doesn't even matter anymore.
it's dying on the vine and petering out.
Any credibility could have protected is just kind of just
Yeah, yeah,
in the
credibility
shitter.
is gone, and any sort of public trust is gone. Um, I guess like all he's got left is maybe like a few diehard fans, and then like maybe some spillage from Hassan's fans or anyone who hates
Yeah,
Ethan Klein enough to be like, oh, this guy's not so bad. He hates Ethan too,
yeah,
because Ethan's also very controversial now.
yeah.
So it's a whole fucking, if you
Uh,
had human cake, now this is just fucking shit cake,
exactly.
diarrhea cake.
What a classic there. But yeah, what a thing to close out on. Do you want to bring up anything else before we put a pin in it? Talk about kind of
I,
the yeah. I know we mentioned like doing other kinds of content on the channel. Um,
hmm
so
I know
yeah,
we've got some videos we're gonna put out on our own. It's
we
gonna
got
be a
yeah. Yeah, we got a first like for a roadmap right now, we got a pretty good idea for our first like at least 2 months of content starting in January. It's gonna be good. Actually, after I get off of this call, we're gonna join the other server, like our the other server, and I'll OBS stream like what I'm gonna capture to you actually, and so you can
good,
see.
good.
Yeah, yeah. So I got something I got a pretty good video, like uh video essay thing that I'm gonna be doing and working on for like the next week or two. I already have the
Oh yeah.
script done, so there's that, and yeah, Mr.
I've got a
Pridianology.
much Oh, what's up?
I said, oh yeah, I was about to say you have quite a few ideas of your own as well. Then we have a bunch of ideas that are related to the podcast that's gonna involve us and um, a few other people. So
Yeah, we're getting intimate with it, Shane.
yeah, we are. We are. It's gonna be a ride. It's
Yeah.
going to
Yeah,
be a fucking ride.
we might even explore each other's bodies.
So, potentially.
That's not off the
The
table.
the chance is low, but it's not zero.
It depends if we end up in an IDubbbz level situation together. That might be Plan B.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah, but anyways, I think that's everything.
I know. I feel bad. I feel like it was mostly me talking, but
No,
there was a
no,
lot
that's
to it.
fine.
I
No,
underestimated how
no, don't,
fucking beefy
no, don't
of a
feel
topic
bad at
that is.
all. You educated me. This is
I'm glad. I'm
this is
glad you walked away from this knowing something.
yes.
Very useless information, but
Hey,
information nonetheless.
I know enough useful information in life, so I don't
Yes.
really knowing some useless information for the love of the game it
Yeah,
does
yeah,
not
yeah. The
bother me.
rest, yeah, you're 25, brain developed, whatever space you got left in there is just for bullshit.
Exactly. But anyways, we're out of here.
Yeah.
I hope you all have a good one. If you like this shit, share it with a few people. Like, subscribe, push us on that
Don't for,
fucking algorithm.
don't forget to hit the bell.
The notification bell, man. Don't forget to hit that
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. We're gonna do giveaways. We're gonna do fucking TikTok challenges.
we're
We're gonna
gonna
do TikTok dances.
yeah, we're
We're
gonna
doing
make
it all
TikTok
here.
dances. So yeah, the giveaways is just gonna be us stealing all your money though. So
Yeah, yeah. Cryptocurrency will
yeah,
be happening. There will be
yeah,
a Stroke coin, and it
yes,
will be the currency of the future.
yes,
We're gonna
yeah.
release supplements that do horrible things to your body, and not any of the intended result of them.
We're gonna
Um,
we're gonna release supplements that fucking will make you infertile.
we're gonna
And
get into political grifting as well. We're gonna
yes,
start a movement, a
yes,
stroke movement. We're
yeah,
starting the stroke
yeah.
party,
We're gonna make groypers look like a
Strokeisms.
joke.
Yeah, but we're ideology though. It's gonna be something completely made up. It's gonna have nothing to do with anything that's going on right now.
It's not gonna be
We're
grounded
gonna
in reality to the slightest.
we're bringing new ideas to the table because that's what we are here. We're ideas guys and innovators. We're
Oh,
starting the movement.
yeah,
Stroke Nation.
yeah. Stroke coin will rape the U.S. dollar.
It will.
if it it will do
It will be.
unimaginable. It'll do unimaginable things to the world economy.
It will be accepted. It will be an accepted currency in several third world countries.
Yeah, yeah. You'll
You're gonna see. You're gonna see stroke coin ATMs in Uganda, Sri Lanka, Papua New Guinea, and Micronesia.
it's going to be one of the most dragged out, prolonged pump and dumps ever seen in human history.
We're gonna drag it out so long that we're gonna lose money on it.
That's how committed we are to it. But yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, anyways, that's I think this is a good stopping point. We'll
Yeah.
catch y'all on the next one. Thanks for listening for the last 2 hours. See y'all later.
Bye.